So here is the deal, you guys. We work with people all of the time. Coaches, course created, content creators, authors, speakers, sellers, social sellers, all sorts of people that are using social media, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, to get clients. Because here is the thing. It is absolutely wild when you think about the potential and the number of people that you have access to on these different social media platforms. And so the possibility is absolutely wild. None of us who are making sales and who are doing these things are having to go knock on doors like people used to have to in the olden days, right? We have social media at our fingertips with unbelievable opportunity to reach out to these people, serve them, make direct offers, and make sales. So it's a really incredible time to be in sales, especially when we're using social media. But here is the reality. Just because you put up a post or a piece of content does not actually mean the right people are going to find you. They're going to click on your stuff. They're going to comment on your contact, or certainly doesn't mean that they're going to take your call to action and start purchasing your stuff. And so while we get really excited about the possibility and all of the greatness, there's also sometimes a little bit of frustration because it's like, well, I have this amazing opportunity, but when am I going to get the payoff? So often as I'm talking to different entrepreneurs and I'm asking, well, where are you struggling when it comes to making sales on social media? Guess what the number one thing is that I hear every single day? Guys, it's I need more leads. I need more leads. I need more leads, right? And if you are feeling that at any point in your journey so far in, making sales online, I want you to just say, I need leads in the chat, because I want to show you, number one, that you're not alone. And number two, that this is like a super common thing, that people have this idea that there are no people that they could actually go make offers to right now. And so what I'm going to be showing you in this quick training today is a number of places that you guys could actually go find leads that are literally hiding in plain sight, that you just may not realize are potential fits for your offer. So I told myself I was going to give you guys 5 different places to look today. And I'm going to see if I can even beat that. Now, what I'm actually going to be doing today is showing you how to find leads on 3 different platforms. So what I'd also like to know is, which is your platform of choice? So between Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, just go ahead and let me know in the chat, which platform are you utilizing, so that as I'm going, we can make sure to show you the different leads that are appropriate for the stuff that you're doing. Okay, so I'm actually going to start with Facebook first. I'm going to show you lots of different places that you guys can go. Okay, and when I show you where the leads are hanging out, I'm also going to show you how, if you're using GroupTrack, you can simply add them into your sales pipeline, regardless of what social platform you're using, so they're all in one unified pipeline and you can bring them through your process. Okay, so the first place that I'm going to show you is going to be your friends list and your followers list on Facebook. Now, one of the things that I want you guys to think about is, when I am using my personal page on my Facebook, right? If I'm posting content here, well, the people who are going to see this content are going to be the people who either are my friends or are my followers. And one of the things I very highly recommend if you're using your personal page on Facebook is that you want to make your account public. Because if only the people who are friends with you can see your content, that really limits the reach that Facebook is going to give you. So we want to make sure, number one, we very much recommend that you upgrade to a professional account. It's free on Facebook. It gives you the ability to do a few more things and to have this really nice dashboard. But here's the deal. If you are posting on your page, but you only have a friends list full of people that you actually know from high school, your aunt and uncle, your friends down the street, guess what? You got a whole bunch of people who are seeing your content that do not have a problem you solve. And as you guys will hear me talk about all the time, I use this analogy, right? I've got a son. I drive him an hour to school every day. every single day I try to convince him to wear a sweatshirt to school. And every single day he says, Mom, I'm not cold. Well, if I'm trying to sell a sweater to someone who doesn't have a problem of being cold, he's not going to buy. This is what many of you are doing if your friends and followers list on Facebook is full of people that are not cold, right? They don't need your sweater. So what we want to make sure that you're doing is adding the appropriate people to build a Facebook and friends list full of ideal clients. Well, there's a lot of different ways that you can do that. Number one, and this is going to be another way to find leads, is you can absolutely go into other people's groups full of ideal clients, and you can add those people to your pipeline with the click of a button, okay? So I'm going to kind of combine this one piece of information. So number one, I could go into someone's group, anybody's group, my group, your group, who cares what group, right? I could go into the group and I can go over here to their members page, and with the click of a button, I can click bulk add. I could add every single Facebook group member to my pipeline. Now, I want to make sure that I'm sending friend requests to those people who are ideal clients, because again, our goal is to take leads from other places, but make them become ours. And we want to make sure that they're friends and followers of ours as well, because once they're in our ecosystem, then it makes more sense for us to do our outreach and so forth, right? So then I'll take you back to this first thing I said, which is we want to make sure that our friends list and our followers list is full of ideal clients. So again, in order to do that, you can go to other people's groups. You could also, you guys, how many of you are getting ads all the time on your pages, right? How many of you are seeing ads for things that you're like, ooh, I actually feel like those ads are full of people that I want to work with? Same thing, you guys. If I am on my screen and an ad pops up and I'm like, oh my gosh, all of these people would be a really good fit for what I sell. Did you know you could click on their post, and here you have all of these people that you could go click, 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 add friend. And if they accept your friend request, guess what? You are now getting very specific people that are ideal clients that ideally have a problem you can solve because you just went on an ad that is targeted. Someone else has done the work and paid for you to like have this list shown to you of people who are ideal fits, right? And so two things you can do with it: add friend, add friend, add friend. And number two, bulk add contacts. So I don't know if you guys have seen this new feature at GroupTrack, but oh my goodness, I can go and add everybody who has liked any post on Facebook, whether it's mine or someone else's. Can we get a what the heck mind blown in the chat if you did not know this? Because this is absolutely crazy, okay? So it is so good. It is such an easy way to add targeted people that are potentially a good fit. So again, we can go to other people's groups, we can go to our groups, we can go to other people's posts, we can go to our posts, we can add friends in order to make sure, again, that we are creating and curating a list full of people that are ideal fits for you, okay? So if your friends and followers list is not currently full of yellow cars, which is what we call people who are, your ideal fit client, I want you to say OMG in the chat. Like, I need to be doing this now. I need to be curating a list full of people that are going to potentially see my stuff. And I actually then am going to have a group of people that I can work, right? So again, you're looking at my Facebook friends and followers list right now. And what I want you to notice is we've got GroupTrack running, and I can see where every single person is in my pipeline. I know if they are my client. I know if they've canceled. I know if they're a good fit. I can look at my stuff just right here. And it is so incredibly easy for me to see that. And then of course we need to actually work those leads, which is a whole nother thing. But here's the reality right now. I could go over to my friends list. I can click bulk add and it will add these people. Now, one caveat that I want to make sure everybody is aware of. GroupTrack, if you're using it, can only add however many people Facebook lets you scroll to look at. So many of you may not realize, but if I just sit here as a human and I try to scroll, at some point, Facebook will stop loading contacts. Okay, so if you physically can't do it as a human, GroupTrack cannot do it for you. So I just want to make sure everybody knows that. Bulk add is one of the most amazing features of all time, but sometimes people will go do a bulk add and be like, oh, it didn't add everybody. Well, that is because, as you can see, I'm scrolling, but at some point, Facebook will not let me continue to scroll anymore. So that's going to be important for everybody to just acknowledge, okay? But again, it's like literally the coolest thing. You can bulk add, you can add a tag, making sure that you have indicated where these people came from. Okay, so again, in the chat, I want you to let me know, are you creating and curating a list full of friends and followers that are the right fit, or is it full of Aunt Martha? So I want you to put in the chat either Aunt Martha or right fit. And if you are having a friends page full of Aunt Marthas, you got some things to do. And I gave you a couple ideas. Again, you could go to other people's friends list. You could go to other people's groups. You could go to other people's posts. You could go to ads. You can find groups of people that are potential good fits. You can add them to your pipeline either individually or in bulk. And then you can friend request those people and get them on your curated list full of yellow cars that you can actually talk to. On a scale of 1 to 4, 1 being, I don't know, 4 being, oh my gosh, I really didn't realize I could potentially have 5,000 people right here on a list that I can work. Well, what if I get to 5,000 friends, right? So many of you guys know Facebook gives you a list and a limit of having 5,000 friends. If you upgrade your account and make it a professional account, what happens is if you get friend requests after that limit, they automatically become followers. That's how on my personal Facebook page, we have 7.5 thousand followers. It's because people friend request me. I don't accept the friend request. They automatically convert. Boom, they're added to my list. They're seeing my content and I am DMing those people. Because again, we can't just assume, oh, they follow us. If they know what we sell, they're going to buy, because that is not true. We need to make sure that they're following us. Then we need to track them. We need to DM them. We need to make offers and do all of those things. Okay, so the next place on Facebook that you guys are going to be able to find leads is, again, your own Facebook group. So if you're using your own Facebook group, which we very highly recommend as a great container, you can, of course, add people in your Facebook group as well. So the first thing that you can do, especially with GroupTrack, is as people are coming into your Facebook group, you have membership requests, right? These are people who have said, hey, can I come into your store? And you're like, sure. And so what's really great is you can ask very specific questions as they're walking into your online retail store. And as you're asking these great questions, if you're using GroupTrack, what's really great is that, of course, you can start capturing that information that they provide to you. And if you're integrating GroupTrack with a third-party system such as ConvertKit, ActiveCampaign, ClickFunnels, High Level, the moment you approve them into your Facebook group, if they provide their email address, that can create that contact in those accounts as well. So it's really incredibly amazing. So you're going to capture leads from people who join your group. If you're one of those people and you're like, well, dang it, I'm just like not getting group members in, I do want to show you this button. Now, there is a button called invite. And for a very long time, I have been very against this, because in my mind, if we think about a Facebook group as an online retail store, I'm imagining you're walking down the street someone clicks the invite button and all of a sudden you are on the street and now all of a sudden you're sucked into their store and you're like, what the heck, why am I here? But I recently had a conversation with a colleague and she challenged my thought. And I was like, okay, fine, give it to me. And she said, what if clicking the invite button is simply having a little cardboard sign outside of your store that says, hey, do you want to come in? And the truth is, if you click the invite button, it doesn't force them into your group like I thought in my mind. What it simply does is it invites them into your group, and then they get to choose if they want to accept your invitation or not. And so while I have been so loud, like stop using the dang invite button, I'm actually going to fully change my mind and say this. If you press that invite button, we're just going to say, okay, you know what? The reality is we're in making an invitation. If you don't have the problem we solve, you just don't accept it. And that's perfectly fine. So if you're one of those people that are like, well, Jenna, I would love to just keep approving group members and, having my Facebook grow, but it's really not right now. Let's go ahead and invite some people. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and give that a try. Now, one thing I do want you to be aware of, if you click the invite button and you invite people, it will surpass your Facebook group questions. Invite them, have them come in, and then we can always get their email later when they start engaging. You start DMing them, and we have our other lead magnets that capture their email anyways. So we've got the group member request. That is one way to grow your leads. The next way is the invite button. That is another way for you to find more leads. Another thing that you can do if you're on professional, and I honestly don't even remember how I found it, but what you can do is you can make it so that all people who follow you automatically get invited into your Facebook group. Now, again, there's a risk to that, which is you don't capture their emails. But I'm going to say this again. Well, if they weren't going to join your group in the first place, you wouldn't have their emails anyway, so why the heck not? Okay? So again, another way to simply get emails, okay? So beautiful way to grow your leads list just by having a Facebook group. Another way, right, is obviously tracking your Facebook group members. So if you're new to GroupTrack, if you're on trial, I want to just remind you, going forward, if you're using GroupTrack, if you approve someone into your group, of course, that means that, those leads are going to be captured. But how many of you guys are like, oh man, I wish I would have had GroupTrack years ago. All these people joined. They did answer the group questions, but they never got captured. So if you're not aware, GroupTrack actually has a way that we can go back and recover some of those missed questions and emails for you. Now, again, my caveat is it may not capture everybody because we can only do what Facebook lets us, but you can go into your pipeline, click recapture group entry questions, and what you're going to see is it will go back through your Facebook group. It will start going through it to see who did we miss and who can we capture for you. We've had people go through this, run this automation, and add 500 leads into their system with the press of one button. Okay, so can we say that there are hidden people sitting right here in your Facebook group that you're not capturing, that you're not DMing, that maybe you didn't get their emails, but you could get them right now? So that's a nice, amazing way to find some leads sitting here with the click of a button. Now, again, if you just started using GroupTrack or you're about to, if you need a trial, say trial in the chat. We'll make sure you get to use this for free. If you don't love it, don't pay us, cancel, right? No problem. But we'd love to get you to get this for free. Okay, so but if you have, obviously you install GroupTrack, you're going to start tracking people going forward. But again, just in case you're aware or not aware, you can click bulk add. Okay, and again, I can go through. Now, sometimes we get the question, Jenna, I have 10,000 people in my Facebook group. If I click bulk add, will this add everybody? And again, I want to give you the caveat of the bulk add. It doesn't matter if it's on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. We can only scroll GroupTrack as far as the platform will let us. So if we can only scroll your first 1,000 members, that's all we can add for you in bulk. But we clicked a button and you added 1,000 people doing nothing. I think that's pretty amazing, right? But I always want to be very transparent about that caveat. And there's other ways that you can add those amazing people and work them as well. Okay. All right. So we've got the Facebook group members. We've got another way to add leads, guys, and that is going to be in the DMs. So again, if you are having conversations with people, which we hope you are, you may have all sorts of people who are in your DMs that you are not tracking, you're not working, you're doing all these things, right? But you are not getting those leads. So again, you can come in here, you can simply hover, add them into your pipeline, and you can track them. Now, if you're using Facebook, one really cool thing is you can also go in here and say, show me all my unread messages. It will pop them up to the top, which is so stinking cool. So that really helps you know where you should focus your time, your energy, and so forth, so that you can really work those people. I'm going to show you a couple more. What if there is a post and you're like, dang, that post is full of people that I think are my ideal client. So let's say you come across my post right here and you're like, okay, 6 people liked it. If you didn't see this before, I want to make sure that you saw it now. You can go over to anybody's post anywhere on Facebook, click on their likes, bulk add all of their people to your pipeline. Let's see, you've got somebody who's not in your Facebook group. There's a post about wanting healthy food, natural food that's not bad for you, and all of those things. And you're like, dang, those are my people. Go click the dang button and add those leads to your pipeline. Get into conversation and be like, did you know that I have a Facebook group full of awesome ways that we can support your family and bring back money into this space and all the things? Join here. Okay, so that's a great way to feed your group. Okay, so I could literally go over to anybody's post, like literally, like I'm gonna find somebody that's like famous. We're gonna go to Jeremy Minor. If you guys don't know Jeremy, he's like a big dude that talks a lot of stuff in sales, right? Okay, well, he has 70 people right here that are most likely ideal clients for me because they're into sales. Bulk add, boom, put them in the pipeline. I'm going to usually add a tag telling me where I found these people so that I have context and can message them. Like, is this crazy, right? I can do this anywhere. And again, it could be anybody's post. It could be your post. It could also be an ad. So I want to make sure, again, if you guys are annoyed that you're getting ads, I'm like, thank you, ad. You just showed me a full list of people. I didn't pay for the ad. Hashtag remarketing, okay? So are we excited about this? Is anybody like, how did I never think to do this? Let us know in the chat. Either ways, I'm very excited and you're not, and that's not fun. Tell us who's excited. Okay, all right. So all these places we can find leads. The other thing is, what if you're like, Jenna, I see that there's 70 people who liked it. What about all these commenters? What can we do with that? Well, that's where autoresponder comes in. We have a tool that you can put this post into GroupTrack. It will go and find all of the people who've commented, add them to your pipeline. And again, you can start working those leads as well. So Lindsay, I feel like I've given you about 15, right? Like go to other people's posts, go to other people's groups, go to ads, go to your posts. All of these places you can literally add link, like all the likes, all the commenters with like a click of a button. It's kind of stupid, right? Okay. Let's talk about Instagram now, shall we? We're just getting started, friends. We were literally just talking about Facebook. So let's go to our Instagram friends. So number one, if I'm over here on the home page and I'm like, ooh, Kaylee, she looks like an ideal client. I can hover over her name, bring her into the sidebar. I can literally do this for anybody, anywhere on Instagram. Okay. So if you're like, okay, I think this is a person that's a good fit. Well, here's the reality. Jenna, funny enough, her name is Jenna. She probably has a lot of followers that are my ideal clients. Okay. So again, oh, it's Janae, not Jenna. That would have been fun. Okay. Same thing. Let's say she just did this post and she has 42 people who have liked it. Oh my gosh. Individually hover over all of these people, or bulk add, boom. What? Guys, leads sitting here, right here, that are potential ideal clients, okay? Super awesome. So again, I could either go to a post where I'm like, okay, these people are, probably a good fit, click on the likes, or I can always hover over the individual people who are commenting and add them to the pipeline as well, because those might be a good fit too. Okay, so we can do that. I could also just go to her followers list, right? I could be like, well, most likely these people are ideal followers. Now, here's what you need to read. Only Janae can see all of her followers. So again, if you go click bulk add, it will not add all of her followers because Instagram limits it. So GroupTrack can do what GroupTrack can do so long as we're within the limits of Instagram and Facebook and, LinkedIn. So what we don't want is a ticket when you're like, I tried to bulk add and it didn't add everybody. It's telling you right here, we literally will add as many as we can for you. But again, like, hi, that's pretty cool, right? So we can do that. Now, if it's on our own page, so Lindsay, other people's followers, likes, people who've liked other people's content, and people who've commented on other people's content, right? So we've got all those. We're so far past 5. Like, can we just say that? Okay, that's other people's leads. Now let's talk about our leads. I can go to my followers list, bulk add, same caveat, we'll add as many as we can, or hover, sidebar, add individually. Either way, okay? So 2 different ways that I can go about that. And then again, we've got messaging on Instagram as well. So if we've got somebody who's in the chat with us, look at all these leads, beautiful. All of these people we can track and actually work, okay? All right, messages on Instagram, okay? So same thing, I can add anybody who messages me, anybody I message, and of course you guys can have those templates and you can do all of these things and message them. Should we go to LinkedIn? Okay, so LinkedIn is new. In case you guys didn't know, we just launched this, 2 weeks ago. You guys, the crazy goodness of GroupTrack is right here on LinkedIn. So what you're gonna notice is this beautiful gradient hover that we have, we're the only ones out of all of our competitors that actually integrate on top of the platform. It's right here, okay? So what you're gonna notice is I can again hover over anybody on LinkedIn, add them into the sidebar, which of course adds them into our full CRM, right? So this is the beautiful thing. And before I show you LinkedIn, I just wanna be really clear about what we're doing. All of the leads, whether I get them from Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn, go into one unified system. I'm not like using a Chrome extension for Facebook and then a different extension for Instagram and having a hot mess of a business. All of my leads go into one pipeline, into one strategy, into one system where I can tag and segment and work and all of the great things, right, in one place. So I just wanted to make sure to caveat that. Okay, so when we go to LinkedIn, hover, add, boom, okay? So again, I can just be on my news feed, my thread here, and be like, ooh, this dude looks like a good fit, hover, add. Okay, so I can add anybody, anywhere from LinkedIn, just like I showed you on Facebook and Instagram. So cool, okay? Now, let's look at other places. So let's say, for example, Tobias has tons of ideal clients that are my ideal clients. Oh my goodness, I can click on his connections and I can start working those people. Again, hover, add, what the heck, right? And again, here's the thing. I know a lot of people use Sales Navigator. Why would I? Why would I? I can come over to someone else's post that's already done it and curated a list, add them and start working them, right? Which is exactly what Sales Navigator does, but costs a lot of money, okay? So we can do this. I can go over and work other people's connections. I could also be like, oh my gosh, Tobias, you've got some really good feedback on your posts. And I could then again, go over to his post and be like, oh, 7 people commented, hover, add, hover, add. Guys, in the chat, is anybody mind blown yet? Like, are you thinking, wow, why did I not realize there's way more leads than I can literally work? Okay, so all of these people are right here. So I can have her add anybody from the newsfeed. I can go to other people's pages. I can do all those things. Okay, I can also click on my network. Okay, so these are your leads, right? And so what you're going to notice when I click on my network, oh my gosh, there's the GroupTrack gradient. Okay. Now look at this. You see Philip right here. I pulled Philip into the sidebar. What you're going to notice is over here, GroupTrack's like, hey, is this the same Philip? And I'm like, yes, it is. Now, do I want to add 3 different Philips when it's the same person? No, I just want to click link. Do you know what that's going to do? That's going to give me 1 contact card for Philip and allow me to track him on Facebook and on LinkedIn and on Instagram. I need to be so clear about that power because here's the deal, guys. Every other tool in the market, you have to have 5 separate tools to do this one thing. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm talking to Philip on Instagram and we're at this place in the pipeline, but on Instagram, I don't remember I'm talking to him. And so it's like so disjointed. So again, I can have 1 contact card and bring him through 1 pipeline and track him on multiple platforms, which is like the most ridiculous game changer of all time. So I want to make sure you guys saw that. Okay, so I can, of course, work him here. I can also go to my connections, okay? So this is a beautiful place. These are absolutely going to be your warmer leads, right? Because these are your actual connections. And so what I can do here, of course, with my connections is I can, shocker, add them individually, or shocker, I can click bulk add. Okay, and that will bring them all into the sidebar with the same caveat you've heard 15 times, which is we can scroll as far as LinkedIn will allow us. That's how we add people in bulk. Once we get to where we can no longer scroll, that's where GroupTrack will stop. Okay, but again, I don't know about you, but if I can add 200 leads in the click of a button while I go get a sandwich, that's a pretty good return on my time. Okay. So we may not be able to add your 10,000 contacts in one push, but hey, we can get you there, okay? So also really cool. Look, there's Miss Carrie. We love Carrie. She's in our GroupTrack. Look at that. And look, she's reading and responding to my DMs. Thank you for that, Carrie. All right, now watch this too. I want to show you something that's really cool, okay? Now I am tracking Carrie. Look at this. I'm tracking Carrie. Carrie, I'm stalking you, okay? For real. I'm tracking you on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Now, what if I want to go engage with her here? I can just click it and it takes me right to her profile and I can go engage, which you should be doing with your leads, right? Get in their inbox, get in their notifications. But what if you're like, oh man, I don't know, like, are we connected on Facebook? Are we connected on LinkedIn? So what you're going to see here is this really cool thing where it's like, okay, on Instagram, Carrie and I are in a conversation. On LinkedIn, I sent her a message, but she hasn't responded. Carrie, just kidding. I don't even know if that's true. I just made that up, but it was really funny, right? And it's like, okay, well, on Instagram, she's following me. On LinkedIn, she's a 1st degree connection. On Facebook, we already know she's in my DMs, right? And she's my friend. Okay, so this is so cool because guess what? Let's say I'm in my system and I'm like, all right, GroupTrack, I really only want to work people who are on Facebook and who are in the DM status on Facebook. That's accepted. Do you see what I mean? So like I can dig down and drill down so far so that I can just like really focus on like, okay, like let's say I want to work my LinkedIn people, but I want to start with my 1st degree connections because they're the warmest, right? Again, I can come into GroupTrack and I can sort and filter down to make sure that I'm like working my best leads. Okay. So again, on your connections page, if I were to go to my connections page, one thing that I would make sure to do is as I'm adding them, whether in bulk or individually, so here's the bulk add, what I would do is I would put them into my system and I would add a tag and I would say, these people are linked in connections, right? Because I want to differentiate the value of the lead. Not all leads are, equal. So when I add all of these people, all of them can receive a tag immediately that says LinkedIn connection. Then when I go into my system, I want to drill down. I'm like, okay, show me my connections first. Let me work them first. Okay. On a scale of 1 to 4, 1, I'm so lost, Jenna. What are we talking about? 4, oh my God, this is amazing. I cannot wait to do this. Let me know in the chat which one you're feeling. Okay, so lots of cool things that you can do here with LinkedIn, adding your system in. Okay, so we can go to connections and then over here, right under my network, you can also go to following and followers. So I don't even know if you guys know that that's on there, but look, here's all of the people who are following me. So again, I can individually add or bulk add with my disclaimer, okay? And so again, when I add these people, I'd be like, okay, these are my followers. So then when I DM them and I'm going to say, thank you for following me, which really gives me permission to message you. Like I'm messaging you because you're following me and I'm telling you. Do you know what I mean? So again, we want to be tracking that. Super helpful, to make sure that's happening. So you can look at people you're following and people you are followers, people who are following you. That's what I meant to say. Okay. All right. Do we know where some leads are? Like so far? Are we freaking out? Okay. Drop a little note in the chat. Are you thinking, I don't have enough leads? Just say, don't have enough. I have too many leads or just right. We're going to like Goldilocks. We're going to Goldilocks this. Is it too hot, too cold, or just right? Right? So here is the reality, right? If you have either just right? If you have just right, beautiful, right? You should be able to work the leads. If you have too many, guess what? GroupTrack can help you do it faster, better, easier, more organized. And then of course, if you eventually want to add someone onto your team that can take some of that work off of you, we do connect and partner with a company called MyVOB, where they have BAMs, which are basically VAs that are business and marketing assistants who are certified on how to use GroupTrack, and you can always hire one of them. They know how to use the tool and they can do a lot of this for you as well. So if anybody wants to learn about a BAM, just say BAM in the chat. Okay, what questions do you have? Who is like, oh my gosh, Jenna, fine. I have all the leads I need. I just need to figure out what to do with them, how to work them, and how to convert them. Okay, so I do want to announce we just decided today we are going to do a 5-day intensive of GroupTrack, and it's going to be free. Like, what are we doing? I do not know, but we are going to do a 5-day intensive where we're literally going to sit with you. We're going to make sure your GroupTrack account is set up. You've got the right pipeline installed based on your business and what you need to do. And we are going to help you every single day, add the leads to your system, put them in the right spot, send the message, and make it happen so that you can no longer say, I love GroupTrack, but I don't know how to use it. We're going to lovingly force you to do it. And if you've ever been on a coaching call with me, let them know what that feels like in the chat. Because I literally lovingly force you to do it. And I'm like, tell me when you're done. And if you're not, what is holding you back? And let me help you do it right now because we want you to win. Okay. So if anybody's interested in getting information about the 5-day intensive coming up in July, where I'm literally going to force you to do it with love, we will get that information over to you. And again, it's going to be free. So we're super excited about that. Okay. I do want to say one massive thing. Not all leads are created equal. Okay. So here is the truth. We have a program called Work My Leads. And in that program, we teach either CEOs how to work the leads they already have, or their team members how to work the leads they already have. There are some people in the program that are killing it. There are other people who are not. And when I drill down and try to understand why are some people doing really well and some people not, it always comes down to the quality of leads that they're bringing into the system. So here is the reality. adding your followers to your pipeline and working them, you can get sales, but it's way harder. Going into other people's groups, adding them and trying to convert them, it's way harder. That's just the truth, okay? So if that is the strategy you're running, if you run ads to get followers, or if you do it organically to get followers, and that's what you're doing and you're following up with them, it is going to be harder. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Yes, you can add those leads. Yes, it's going to feel really good, but it's not going to convert as well. The people who are converting well do one thing that the other people are not: a conversion event. So let me explain what that means. If you are just like getting followers, friends list, connections, followers on Facebook, Instagram, doesn't matter, and you're DMing them, you are 50 times farther along than the majority of humans. Can I just say that? Congratulations. But like I said, if that is your only strategy to sell by chat, it is harder to convert. You're having to like pull and follow up, and it's a little bit harder. Versus what I do, what some of our best clients that are winning do, is they do an event. It can be free, it can be paid, it can be a workshop, it can be a masterclass, it could be a 5-day intensive, it could be a 2-day, 3-day, I don't care. But what it does is it gives you a line in the sand for your potential leads to make a decision. And so what we would do is we're going to say, okay, our event is coming up on July 21st. Now, Lindsay and I know this is the deadline. This is the goal. This is how many people we want to enroll. And let's work backward. Here's the DM we need to create. Here's the social post we need to make. Let's go be intentional about doing it. And where, again, I see a lot of people are not doing that is they're just kind of like ongoing selling. It just doesn't work. I will also tell you, false urgency, people see through. So if you're doing things like, oh, after 10, the price goes up. None of us believe it. It's not true. But if we say the event is on July 21st, there's no false urgency. It's the truth, right? And so people are going to make a decision, okay? But so that's the truth, right? There is strategy. You need to have good leads. If you have good leads, you will get way better results in a much faster time. I think 30 sounds great. Let's put it at 31. 31 places that you just found leads. But the reality is there's going to be a lot better leads from other places, right? So like, for example, if we do a call to action post saying, I'm doing this, do you want to come? Way better leads than if we're just randomly DMing people. Can we agree that like there's good leads, there's bad leads, but they're freaking everywhere? We need to add them to GroupTrack. You need to have a process to work them, exact way to do it. And when we do it, things happen, okay? So our call to action for you today is to go add those people, start putting them in the pipeline and start working them. If you don't have a pipeline and you don't have GroupTrack, what are we doing? Get a trial. We will let you do this for free for 12 days. If you're not obsessed, cancel. Don't pay us. There's literally no risk, but we're pretty sure you will love it and you will stay. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but in typical SaaS, which is a software as a service, retention is usually 3 months. That's the industry average. We have people who've been with us for 5 years. That's unheard of. Unheard of, okay? So that tells you a lot. You will never find a more committed group of people that want you to win more than we do. So we would love to bring you into the GroupTrack community. We would love for you to be a GroupTrack user, and we definitely want to support you in doing that. So if you don't have a trial yet, make sure that you say trial. We will reach out and send it one to you. And if you guys want to know about the intensive coming up, that is going to be free, where we're literally going to force you to set up the system, do your work, and I'm going to I'm going to lovingly yell at you for 5 days to work your leads. And it's going to be fun. So if you guys want to learn about that, just say 5-day intensive and we'll send you the details to get registered. And we'll see you guys next week for another training. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you guys. Bye, everybody.